All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another drag racing and comparison video. I'm here with 10, and today we are comparing the difference between, let me find it here, the 2019 Durant Manta base model, the base TL1. And what model do you have?
The 2019 Durant Manta RTL3.
The RTL3. So, what we have here essentially is the base model, right? The cheapest one you can get. And this is the most expensive one you can get that's still naturally aspirated. So this is not the 650 horsepower Z06 version or the ZR1. This essentially still has the same engine as the base model. It's just everything else is supposed to be fancier. And right off the bat, you can tell clearly a huge visual difference. Uh, I believe yours is it's supposed to emulate a Grand Sport. Essentially, it's just a what is really a naturally aspirated Z06. It looks identical to a Z06 at least. Uh, and on that, let's go over some of the visual differences. A big one, I think they're pretty obvious in any place you look on this car, but the front bumper to begin with, yours has the nice carbon splitter that kind of attaches to this like carbon flare almost, whereas
Yeah, it
mine
kind of goes
obviously does not have
around.
a single thing.
Tilts the
Yeah,
license plate a little bit forward for more aerodynamics.
yeah. Make it speedy, you know. Even the grill.
Gotta be
I mean,
quick.
oh, anyone watching
Yeah,
this
the
video,
grills.
right? They can see, yeah, they're completely different looking. I'm not going to go over every like difference in terms of like a specific body part, but obviously they're very different. The hoods too. Yours way more vents. The three vents up closer to the driver, whereas mine just has the one kind of like not a ram air, but just scoop in the front.
Mhm.
Uh, Windshields look the same, wipers look the same. Let's see, move down the side here. You have these nice carbon skirts. I This one just doesn't have anything at all, which I mean, it's the base model, so uh same with the fender, right? You got this like nice I don't think that's carbon. I can't really tell. Vent on the side, whereas once again this has nothing. It looks like it almost could have. It has like the weird little cutout for the vent within the like design designed in vent sort of thing, but it just doesn't have one. I think you spotted this. The only difference between the interiors is that my cup
Mine has a little
holders
bit
are
more
just
gray.
yeah, yours just have an outline on them. That's I guess the center console color actually too, right? Yours
Yeah, the center
is
console
gray.
color. I also have gray trim on the seats that go around.
So you get a little nicer interior. I would say it's nicer interior on the TL3 package, but overall it's pretty minute differences. It's really just a recoloring. There's no physical difference. Moving down the side here, everything else looks about the same. You do have the carbon, I guess, flares just like the front does, which mine all just does not. Um, Down the back, no spoiler on mine. Huge duck bill on yours. I really like that.
It
Uh,
does add an accent to the back of it.
it does, yeah. It's a lot more racy. Your tail light surrounds are black as well, whereas mine are body colored.
Yeah.
Let's see
Think
here.
think down below they're basically just the same.
Yeah, except yours is carbon. It's just uh, a difference in
Oh
texture,
yeah.
really. That's the only thing. I mean, exhaust tips are the same. Yeah, yours is just carbon. Obviously, wheels are different. Both of these are the standard wheels that you get from the dealer without changing anything. These are just default. Um, Brakes also. Oh, you know what? Yours definitely have a different texture. I wouldn't call those. I guess they are slotted. They're not, or they're slotted in kind of a peculiar way. Peculiar way. They're not drilled, but they are. They definitely have a different texture to them than mine do. Uh, as for the sound, would you like to? It's a luck. Sorry, I just did that.
Now it wants me to pump your gas. Startup wise, it sounds like two different cars, but when you rev it up, they sound the same.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. And on the fact that they sound the same, these both essentially have the same engine, except the for your extra money, there's a $20,000 price difference between these two cars. The base model here is 55, whereas this is 75. Supposedly, at least on paper, your RTL3 gets 10 more horsepower, putting it at 465, whereas mine is just 455. We'll see if that's really the case once we line up, but uh, yeah, I guess we'll see. Also, something to note before we start, uh, when you go to the dealer and look at the specs on these cars, the base model actually has a higher top speed as well. It tops out at 191, whereas the RTL3 and pretty much any other trim like this that has kind of the Z06-esque body and features, they top out at 181. So we'll see if that plays into account here with the drag race. So 10 over there is on console. I'm on PC. And so to keep it even, I'm going to run my car in auto sport mode here with traction off, just like he's going to do. That way the test we get is as accurate as it can be. Both are going to be on as even of a playing field as they can. Now this just wants to spin right off the bat. I don't even have to do anything.
Mine does not.
Weird. Yeah,
Maybe just the disadvantage of being on console, but mine does not.
Seems like I got a better launch. I'm not sure if the gears are longer on this one or not, but seem to have a pretty good gap. 12.6.
Yeah. 13.0. May just be because my console disadvantage, but we'll switch cars and find out if I disable that one too. I was reeling you in. I had 2 miles an hour on you on the top end.
You did have the top end on me. Yeah, interesting. Especially weird because this car supposedly has the higher top speed. Right. Yeah,
once again,
do anything.
Yeah, once again, I am not able to spin the tires on console.
Well, I guess this will be a case of which one runs faster on my screen. Well, I guess for your screen too. Let's not count that out.
Holding the fort down for the console homies out there. 13.28. Yeah, 13.28. So 0.2 seconds slower in this on console than the other one.
And this was a tenth faster on my PC than the other one. Just about a tenth, a little under a tenth.
Yeah, replicated the same mile an hour for both races though. So I'll let you take over and get the best drag races you can with the two vehicles.
Alright, so I'm going to run each car in manual mode now. I think for this car, let's first give go 229. We'll start in second gear for each car. 42 miles an hour, right? Yeah, 42. Okay. Ooh, see what kind of difference this can make. I don't even have to hit the brakes or anything to get this to spin. Unlike most cars, it just wants to go right off the bat.
Yeah, on console it just seems like it has a launch control that just inhibits it.
I did notice when I went to launch both of these that even though they were spinning right off the bat, both were sitting at 2,500 as if it had some sort of launch control.
Yeah. You picked up an extra 3 miles an hour in a good chunk of time.
Did, yeah. 11,816 at 150. That's pretty quick. Let's see what the base model can do. Guys, keep in mind, now that I'm running it in manual mode, this does take some of the consistency out of it. It relies more on driver skill, so I'm going to be as consistent as I can, but really the most accurate ones are going to be both the runs made in automatic mode.
$11,900 at 151.
And I felt like I was driving better that time.
Yeah? What were you, a 0.1 off from the other time and a mile an hour different?
I think that's that top end starting to kick in, but just not soon enough.
Just running out of real estate.
Did you want to make any runs, or do you think we can come to a conclusion?
I think we can come to a conclusion.
All right. So essentially, your $20,000 gets you approximately a tenth or two in the quarter mile and a lower top speed. Uh, really, it just comes down to how much you like the way they look. You're really paying the extra money just to have it look like a Z06, whereas the base model obviously just looks like a base model. Um, in my opinion, not really worth it. I think if I was going to go for one, I'd just go with the base model. And if not, I'd just save up the extra money and get the actual Z06 or the ZR1 version instead of the naturally aspirated one that looks like a Z06. But
It
cool car
depends on what
nonetheless.
kind of racing you're doing. If you're doing drag racing, go with this one. If you're doing highway rolls, go with this one.
Right, great point, actually. Yeah, yeah, that's a really good point. I didn't even think about that. Um, so I think that pretty much wraps it
Higher
up
top
for
speed
this.
works.
Higher top
Yeah.
speed. All right, guys, if you found this video helpful, let me know down in the comments. Like if you liked, dislike if you didn't like, and we'll see you in the next one.